Particular restoration project was really designed for fish and birds and wildlife.
SFU professor Karen Caulfield says a natural habitat like this could be used to protect the shoreline as sea levels rise.
It's one thing to hear that sea level rise is going to be 20 centimeters or half a meter or a full meter. It's another thing to see what that means when it comes up against the land.
New global maps from Climate Central, a US-based research group, shows at least 325,000 Canadians currently live on land at risk of annual flooding by year 2100. That's a 10% increase from previous estimates.
By the end of this century, you're going to see significant risk all across Richmond into Surrey.
Gerard says by the end of the century, nearly all of Richmond, including Airport, Delta, and large chunks of Surrey, will lie below annual flood levels.
We're essentially comparing the height of the land to what the anticipated water height will be, but there is land that even today is in the risk zone that's being protected by dikes, by seawalls, by levees.
You don't just plan for that slow creep of sea level rise, you also have to plan for the king tides and the storm surges.
Climate disasters directly impacting British Columbians.
We get sort of like hit twice. We have Fraser River insofar as it's rising sea levels at times. And then, of course, we have storm surges during bad weather from our ocean fronts.
Harvey says more support is needed from provincial and federal governments for resilient mitigation.
I do appreciate that we receive funding once in a while from the federal government and the province, but it's piecemeal. We need sustainable funding.
Experts say mitigation strategies are key, but in the end, it comes down to taking positive climate action.
We can become more resilient. We can build our cities and our structures to handle coastal flooding, better. But there is no solution for cutting emissions.
The United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change projects about half a meter of sea rise is expected by 2050. That number is set to double by the end of the century. Sohrab Sandhu, CBC News,